Hello again, welcome to Study Canada International. On today's episode, I will address the question, which institutions to avoid as an international student in Canada. Before I get to this topic, I need to mention that international student tuition fees are very expensive in Canada. It is because of this opportunity that institutions are popping up nowadays that will milk you of your cash and leave you disappointed. Therefore, as an international student, there are certain things you need to pay attention to when selecting a school to apply. The first of which is to apply to a school which is a DLI school. DLI is an abbreviation which stands for Designated Learning Institution. And why is it important to you to apply to a DLI school? Well, first, if you check the requirements for Canadian student visa, you would realize that the number one thing is to get admission from a DLI school. The second reason why you need admission from a DLI school is that these institutions would have the approval from the provincial or territorial government where they operate to host international students. And it's because of this government involvement that the programs that these schools offer have been vetted to meet industry standards or at least conform to that province's ministry standard. DLI schools would also have the necessary infrastructure to support you as an international student. So it's very important that you apply to a DLI school. But in case you already got admission from an institution without checking first to see if it's a DLI school, you can look on the admission document to see if DLI number has been listed anywhere. If not, you can go on the IRCC website. The IRCC website, IRCC is also another abbreviation which stands for Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada. Go on the IRCC website and look for your school and see if it's a DLI institution. The second thing to look out for when applying or when selecting a school to apply is to check if the institution you're applying to qualifies for a postgraduate work permit program, PGWP, postgraduate. So even though every institution that qualifies for the postgraduate work permit would be a DLI institution, not every DLI institution qualifies for the postgraduate work permit program. And also, not every program within a school qualifies for the postgraduate work permit. So make sure to check with your school's international liaison office that the program you're applying to qualifies for a postgraduate work permit. And a postgraduate work permit is very important for international students because if you're looking to settle in Canada after school, then you would need a postgraduate work permit to help you meet the requirements that you need to become a permanent resident. And for the international students who are still looking to go back home, but to gain some Canadian work experience before doing so, then you'll still need a Canadian postgraduate work permit to allow you stay behind and work to gain that Canadian experience. Without a postgraduate work permit, you would have to leave the country immediately after your program is done. So, to address the question, which institutions must you avoid as an international student? For me, the answer is simple: private career colleges. And why should you avoid these schools? Because they do not qualify for a postgraduate work permit. And also, there have been recent instances where some international students have complained of poor quality program content at some of these private career colleges. Some of these schools do not even have physical classrooms. That means students come to Canada only to sit in their rooms and participate in class. And as an international student, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for you to participate in class and to associate with people of different background. Without doing this, you have been robbed of some of the international students' experience. So now let's check which other schools should you be applying to, or which schools should you be applying to instead. You should be applying to public institutions, be it colleges or universities. But if you're looking in the province of Quebec, in addition to applying to public institutions, you could also apply to private institutions which operate under the Quebec government's public school regulations. Guys, money is hard to come by nowadays, so make sure that you do your research before you commit to any institution. Thanks again for watching this episode. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell for future content.